Today, I'm going to share some notes from Guy Burak's article, The Second Formation of Islamic Law, the post-Mongol context of the Ottoman adoption of a school of law. To begin with, you have to know that in legal history, the Ottoman dynasty is considered as the first ruling dynasty to officially adopt a particular school of law or madhab. Compared to earlier dynasties, the Ottoman developed a different structure of hierarchy. For example, in pre-Mongol period, muftis were independent scholars chosen by their teachers after receiving ijazat tadris wal iftah. But in the Ottoman period, muftis were appointed directly by the state. This shows a shift of authority in granting permission to issue fatwas. Sometimes, the dynasty even enforced minority opinions within the Hanafi school. For instance, Shaykh al-Islam Abu Su'ud consulted Sultan Sulaiman when issuing fatwa that aligned with the Sultan's policies. And this fatwa is actually a minority within the Hanafi school. And also, one clear example is the case of Waqfun Nuqad. Many jurists prohibited this practice, considering it is a form of interest, riba, which the Quran declares haram. However, the opinion that allowed it became dominant because of what? Because it was justified and institutionalized by the Ottomans and their scholarly hierarchy. The dynasty even appointed some scholars to write works that reinforced the structure of Hanafi school. For example, in the 16th century, they appointed Mahmud Kafavi to document the intellectual genealogy or tabaqat of the imperial learned hierarchy within the legal school. So, the Ottoman adoption of the Hanafi madhab was deeply tied to dynastic law, as Burak highlights in his main argument. These adoptions, I argue, were not merely acts of patronage or of following juries of a specific school. They were active attempts by the ruling dynasty to regulate the school's structures, authorities, and doctrines. This means that the dynasty is not passive, only follow the madhab, but also active in regulating the madhab.